we've talked about Owen's deck. We saw Owen's deck multiple times. Todd's got that deck.
Okay, so he's activetreason.com.
Yeah, 2 Active Treasons. Got some Altar's Reap, some Blood Barons, Gnawing Zombie. It's Grim Return. That's a cute one.
Okay.
It's the 2 and a black instant. Put target creature card that went to a graveyard this turn from the graveyard into the battlefield under your control.
Okay.
Multiple Liturgy of Bloods. Incidentally, Grim Return costs 3. It's a cute setup.
Oh, I do like that, actually.
I like that a lot.
As we do see, Vinny is taking a mulligan down to 6 here. Vinny going to be playing against Todd momentarily.
Todd's got some cool red cards to go with the Sacrifice theme. He's got Dragon Egg and Pitchburn Devils.
All right. Now, Todd, I think one of the things I always find interesting in doing these Team Steel tournaments or limited tournaments in general is when you look at people's deck list. We've talked about numerous times today, and you guys have actually seen on camera if you've been with us for over the course of the day of how powerful Nightwing Shade has been.
Yeah,
it's been absolutely great. You see, Todd Anderson has 3 of them in his sideboard, and so the fun thing is to see the varying opinions on how people evaluate cards, especially at the beginning of a format where Nightwing Shade in its previous format, as we mentioned, pretty stinky. This format looks to be pretty good. As you see, Prabhu playing currently just a sliver. Anderson has a Corpse Hauler, and he's going to pass the turn back.
Prabhu down to 6 cards this game, but if that's a predatory sliver. We've got some game going on here.
So Prabhu, for you guys that are unfamiliar, Arlington, Virginia native, most impressive finish, or his top finish, is a 16th place at Grand Prix Nashville in 2010. A tournament I think that Reed won.
No?
So Reed or Costa?
No, 2010 was a different Nashville.
Okay, my apologies.
2010 was the one that Jerry won. I would know. Guess who lost to him? Guess who?
Well, I didn't mean to dagger you there. I swear, I tried to say it was the wrong Nashville. So
it looks like the Sentinel Sliver has traded for the Corpse Hauler and followed up with an Advocate of the Beast, which is also followed up with a Rumbling Baloth, one of the few beasts in the format for this Advocate.
So do you think it's a good thing that Advocate of the Beast doesn't have a lot of beasts to be able to power up, or do you think it's a bad thing?
I think so. I think it's just enough on curve that it shouldn't have a lot of targets.
All right.
Like, it's already good, it shouldn't make it better. So Liturgy of Blood comes down for Todd, kills the Baloth, no follow-up, and Advocate of the Beast puts him down to 16.
Okay. So let's see what Prabhu has to play here. He has the Spore
Mound.
The Spore. So 5 mana, 3/3. Whenever he plays a land, you can call it landfall if you want to. Gets a 1/1 Sapling token. Here is Active Treason.
That's cute.
He's going to play a land, get a 1/1. Look at Todd getting all the value. Does he have a Blood Baron to follow up?
He would have had to have drawn it this turn, I think, because he would have casted off the Liturgy last turn, right?
That's true.
Might have been Altar's Reap. That'd be my guess.
That'd be pretty good, too. Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's an Altar's Reap. It is. All the value there for Anderson. Going to sacrifice a Spore Mount, draw 2 cards, and gets a 1/1 for it. Draws a Mountain and a Mystery card and passes the turn back.
It's pretty good level. About like a card and a half or so.
Yeah, that's a pretty good turn.
So it looks like Todd down to 14. Probably shoves in. Plays.
Here's another Spore Mound.
Yeah, more 3/3s. 3/3s for days. Spore Mound's pretty good in these black matchups, actually. Like all the black, said it over and over. The black creatures are all really small in this format.
Sure.
So 3/3's just bigger than everything. 1/1's kind of a relevant body. But Todd has a 3/3 of his own. Pitchburn Devils.
Okay.
And a Corpse Hauler.
Another Corpse Hauler. Corpse Hauler is a card that, we see this in everyone's deck. This isn't a card that I think anyone is even interested in cutting. It's not as good as, well, personally, I don't think it's as good as Gravedigger.
No, absolutely.
It's like a more versatile Gravedigger, but it's not as good as Gravedigger is, especially because it has 1 toughness, so it can die to some rather unique cards or what have you. But I don't think anyone cuts it.
We saw one in a sideboard earlier,
okay.
But it's not. The thing that Gravedigger could do is that it could generate card advantage on loops. Like you Gravedigger or Gravedigger, and you block their 2/2, and then you Gravedigger the Gravedigger.
Sure.
This card can't quite do that, but it serves a different role. It's a 2/1 body that isn't bad in the late game, and that's really important.
Yeah, I suppose that's rare, actually, where a 2/1 body isn't actually really all that poor in the late game.
Yeah. So, a Mana-Wee Sliver, it looks like.
Sapling token's going to be put into play there.
The Assassin taking the role of the Sapling.
Yeah, don't let that hit you, Todd. We promise it's just a Sapling. And we will get a correct Sapling on the screen at home as soon as we can. As Todd is going to draw a card for the turn. He's going on with a couple of mountains in his hand. So he's flooding a little bit, I feel like, Ari, but he can still play.
Yeah, he's got the Corpse Hauler. He's got some action. I like how Todd's deck is kind of aristocrats, and that's what he's been playing lately.
Yeah.
Bet him and Brad fought hard over that.
So here is a Quag Sickness, going to take down that Spore Mount. Todd going to play a mountain and pass the turn back.
Pitchburn Devils gets in for 3. Vinny not really wanting to trade 2 of his creatures for that one.
Yeah. So I believe the draw this turn for Vinny was a predatory sliver.
Yep. That's what it looks like.
So he already has Mana West Sliver in play, so that would give him a 2/2 Sliver, that 2/3 Advocate of the Beast, and then a 1/1 Sapperling token. But his board is currently just outclassed right now by Pitchburn Devils.
Vinny does not have an off-color card being splashed off this Mana West Sliver, so it's kind of just hanging out. It's a good time for it to crash in as a 2/2.
Just a Mana Accelerator. Yeah, I agree with you. Now is about as good a time as any to start attacking here. You see him reaching with all 3 of his creatures. So Anderson's going to put Sapperling in front of Sapperling. Those are going to trade off, and he's going to end up taking 4 damage, pushing himself down to 10.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Vinny's not really a slivers deck, but he's got a lot of slivers in his deck that are just incidentally good. Like,
okay.
You don't mind playing Predatory Slivers at 2/2. You don't mind playing Sentinel Slivers at 2/2. Steelform Slivers at 2/3. Fine. Mana West Slivers and Mana Ramp guys, fine. He doesn't have any of the big ones, but there's just a little bit of value gained every time.
So Anderson plays the Minotaur Abomination. That is the 4/6 with a story to tell. Passes the turn back, and he's actually able to attack with his Pitchburn Devil and then play a 4/6 that can hold the fort down now.
Yeah.
And make it very, very difficult for Prabhu to be able to attack. Prabhu has an Elvish Mystic and just passes the turn back, so not a great turn for him.
Again, we see the issue of these mana accelerant creatures are great or good on turn 1. They lose a lot of value really fast.
They get so bad so fast. And it really makes me wonder if the acceleration's worth it.
Might not be. Todd getting aggressive here, shoving in with his 4/6. Vinny piles up his Mana West Sliver, his Predatory Sliver, and his Advocate of the Beast on it. Todd kind of sitting here figuring out how he can assign damage to kill the most things. He can just kill the 2/2/2s. There might have been a way where if the Predatory Sliver dies and then there's a single damage on the Mana West Sliver that he could kill more things. So that's something to watch out for in this limited format.
Yeah. That's one of the few, it feels like that's like one of the few blowouts that can really occur.
Well, there's another one I like that we might. I'm going to hold that one until we see the chance for it to happen. Okay. I've seen no one play this card yet. Or we've seen it once in someone's hand and it's just never come up.
You're keeping secrets from me. Unbelievable. As here's another Pitchburn Devils here for Anderson and passing the turn back. So, yeah, Todd's deck is one of those threatened central decks.
Yeah.
Or like Turtonwald's is, but the Turtonwald doesn't have like a bunch of Pitchburn Devils.
Or
like,
Dragon's Egg.
And Dragon's Egg, yeah, like Todd does.
I like the 2 Pitchburn Devils versus your opponent at 8 life it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I call that a rock and a hard place if you're Prabhu.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a Corpse Hauler out there too as well, just waiting to rebuy one at any moment.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it really hard. I mean, you see Todd right now has the 3 mana available to the Corpse Hauler to be able to bring back his Minotaur Abomination if he wants to. But he can also just keep threatening with Pitchburn Devils. If one dies, go upstairs, put Prabhu down to 2, rebuy it, put it back, and then he can't ever really do anything about it.
There are 3 Blood Barons in Todd's deck to just start lightning bolts into the face.
Blood Baron looking better and better every time I watch it in action.
There's a lot of these black cards are they look kind of weak on the surface, but they do they do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be willing to say black is probably the second best color in the set.
Yeah, I think behind blue.
Yeah,
everything's
behind blue.
But I like the days when it's not like that. So Todd thought about sacrificing to get back Minotaur Abomination, decides not to, draws a card for the turn to go along with his Mountain. You see he's going to weigh his options. And this is a pretty easy one. He's certainly going to be reaching with one of those Pitchburn Devils. I think he's deciding if I want to attack with 1 or 2. You see Joel kind of saying, what's your plan this turn? Let's make sure we don't screw this up so we can get out of this game up 1 here.
I think if you shove with the team and he blocks the Corpse Hauler, one of the Pitchburns gets through, guess what he's at? Less than 6.
Yeah, which is where you want him to be at, and he is going to attack with everybody. Yeah, I'm kind of with you here. Like, Advocate of the Beast can block the Corpse Hauler.
Yeah.
Ideally, Elvish Mystic is probably just going to chump block something. Maybe Elvish Mystic goes in front of the Corpse Hauler. Advocate of the Beast doesn't block. Who knows? But he's going to get damage through this way regardless. I don't think this can be a good combat for Prabhu.
Especially now that he's moving to blocks without casting a Briar Pack Alpha.
Yeah.
If that guy got cast, we'd have some interesting decisions. Todd opting to not rebuy? Oh, there's the Blood Baron.
And there's a reason why. Because he does have Blood Baron to fireball Prabhu out. Kaboom, kaboom.
Yeah.
And Anderson is going to take game number 1.
Could have rebought, just not worth the effort, just go into the face. I don't believe there's any instant life gain in this format. So
yeah, not a card like Angel's Mercy or anything.
Yeah, no one can get you with a random 23rd card unplayable.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I was going to do. Certainly there isn't something that's like a really good card that you would want to like play around in case they have it.
So I'm just going to go and talk about this one because it is in Vinny's sideboard. The card I'm talking about that can be a blowout, similar ways, Celestial Flare.
Okay.
I think the card's really good.
Okay.
I think that it's one of the few white cards I'm actually excited about. Previously, a lot of these cards have been clunky and expensive, like Neck Snap is the one that comes to mind.
I always think of Chastise or Second Thoughts.
Yeah, a lot of expensive combat tricks that are really obvious that they're there. Celestial Flare costing 2 is pretty clutch, but the thing is you can cast it after damage has been dealt. The creatures are still attacking or blocking. So you can set up board states where you trade off all the things that they want to sack. They're like, oh, I'll play around Flare and I'll attack with these crappy creatures. They just die in combat, you take the hit and you flare their guy.
Sure. Yeah, at the end of combat you can take care of their guy. Yeah. It's a fun little trick as we cut over here to Dean Hwang and Brad Nelson. Hwang up a game right now over the former player of the year. You see Nelson has a Root Wall in play that he just tapped out the cast, so Child of the Night can get in there, and now you see a Trained Condor, Hwang passing the turn back.
I believe that's a Tenacious Dead in the middle.
Oh, Tenacious D. Nice.
Brad Nelson, all the Root Walls, all the Rumbling Balos.
And this turn, he casts a Hunt the Weak, pumps up his Root Walla, takes care of the Trained Condor, and passes the turn back. Hunt the Weak is... That's another card. I think that's a card that green really needs.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, it bumps guys up to 5/5 range, but it's just a nice removal spell for green.
Yeah, it's not exceptional, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I mean, Prey Upon is like a super powerful card, super efficient. I don't know if it's too good. I don't know if it's too good for Core Set Limited, but it's definitely just a really good card.
Yeah.
Hunt the Weak is a weaker version of that, but still good.
It gives Wizards levers they can pull if they want to make the format a certain way.
Sure. So now here is a Rumbling Balos, and Nelson passes the turn back. Again, just the Root Wall just sitting back on defense. No real good reason to attack because the Tenacious Dead, making it so that this attack is fairly irrelevant and passing the turn back.
We saw that earlier where a player attacked a Capuchin Knight to a Tenacious Dead. The other player just paid the mana, brought it back, and attacked back for one.
Yeah.
They took a free damage that way. No need for Brad to do that, especially when Dean's approaching Liturgy mana. Take down the Baloth, just no need to take a free damage.
So Nelson's going to potentially attack here, and if you're Hwang, you have to think of something that if he's attacking, maybe there's something I should be scared of. Like, do I want to block my Tenacious Dead, bring it back, then having it killed?
Well, if he's attacking with both, this is just a free damage for Brad. That's likely what's just going on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that that is likely what's happening here. Is Brad is just getting with both guys. Tenacious Dead is going to block the Root Walla. It's going to come back. Brad's going to get his point of damage. But I mean, there's also things to consider here. Maybe is Nelson trying to trick me? What have you? It doesn't look like it. It's just going to be a Spore Mound plus a land for a Sapling token. But you always try to weigh everything that you can.
Spore Mound's doing some overtime over here in these matches.
Yeah, seen a lot of Spore Mounds.
I'm liking that card more and more the more I see it.
I'm okay with it. I would like that card a lot more, again, if there was just an overrun effect to make it so the 1/1s were more relevant. I think against black decks, 1/1s are actually relevant, as you said. Against some other decks, though, they're really quite poor. And I wish that there was a better way to just leverage those creatures that card makes into doing something more with them.
I think that one of the issues is that the decks that the 1/1s are bad against are not usually great decks. They're like these weird, clunky defensive white decks.
Sure.
So that might be the case. I don't know. That's one that I'm going to have to play or see a lot more of the format to really decide.
See Nelson conferring with Larsson there. See exactly what they want to do on this turn. Nelson again has that 3/3 Root Walla, +1/+1 counter there from Hunt the Weak. Also has a Spore Mound, a Sapling token, and a Rumbling Baloth that is having its senses deprived right now.
Dean's deck is quite good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've got, on the rare side, we've got Shadowborn Demon. We've got Chase's Mind Seeker. We've got Opportunity, basically a rare. Solid removal between Doomblade, Claustrophobia. It's a pretty good blue-black deck. Sengir Vampire may as well be a rare as well. Has been in the past.
You see Nelson make the attack there. The same one from last turn, same blocks from last turn as well from Hwang. So He's just going to untap and draw and hope he can find a land. He's still having mana issues, so Brad going to draw a card for the turn. He draws a giant spider to go along with a couple of other spells there. And we're going to see the same attack yet again. And the same block yet again.
Dean being stuck off double black is actually really important. You know, we mentioned Sengir Vampire, Liturgy of Blood, I may have mentioned, Shadowborn Demon. These are all double black.
Let's see if we can find it this turn.
Doesn't look like it. Giant Spider joins the crowd.
Yeah, you know.
On the beatdowns.
Pretty, I mean, not great or anything at this point, but just adds to the clock. Let's Nelson keep attacking.
Yeah, I respect Giant Spider a lot more on the offense than the defense in this format, I feel like.
I don't disagree with you, that's just painful to say.
I know. I do love when I get to attack with the Pillow Field Ox, though. It feels real nice to beat people down with those.
So Nelson draws his card. It's not another land, as if he had a land, he would play it for the Spore Mound to get a 1/1 sapling token. So if you're Hwang, that's not the best feeling in the world right now, where your opponent is not playing any lands. You'd like them to flood, but if he were flooding, he'd be playing his lands to get a 1/1. So every draw step right now for Nelson is good.
Brad opting to send in the sapling token. If Dean opts to block his Tenacious Dead on it, he's taking 5 off the root wall. If he doesn't block it, he takes damage.
The only thing that's a little curious to me is that Nelson's not setting in with a Spore Mound, basically saying, I don't want Dean to be able to double block it and then save his Tenacious Dead.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I would just want to keep pushing through damage if I could here, because, again, the Spore Mound doesn't make terribly relevant creatures. I kind of want to get my opponent deaded as soon as I can.
Shadowborn Demon comes down. Probably going to take down this Root Walla. Takes down the Spore Mound.
Well, Brad has shown such an importance of not attacking with it that it doesn't surprise me that Dean would try to kill it.
So my issue with that is I don't feel like it gets in additional damage because the Child Knight just gains him back life. The Child Knight's not really doing anything anyways. Why let him turn the Child Knight into something?
Sure.
So Ranger's Growl counters the Demon trigger, and Dean is stuck with, well, not stuck, he's got Tenacious Dead. Sacrifice it, get it back.
All right.
Brad has a land for this sapling token coming down here. Oh, geez.
That's a lot of mana.
Oncoming Storm.
That is a windstorm that I have a feeling Brad probably sideboarded that one in.
I can only imagine if your opponent's blue-black that you would want to do that.
And we can confirm that he does have one windstorm in his sideboard, and it is in his deck. Again, Nelson is down a game here, so it makes you believe that he probably saw that Shadowborn Demon in the first game, or something worth windstorming, because Windstorm takes out the Shadowborn Demon, and now allows Nelson to come across with everybody.
Tenacious Dead cannot regenerate this turn, so we're looking at some awkward blocks.
Yeah, tough spot here if you're Hwang. I mean, you can double block the Root Walla to get that thing off the table, so you don't have to worry about the pumps in the next following turns, excuse me. But I mean, how good is that block right now? You have to lose both of your guys to be able to make that block.
You can double block the Spore Mound to keep your board, keep Brad's board from growing. I think that might be better because you can kill the Root Wall with a single removal spell. That Spore Mound is just going to get out of control.
I mean, it seems like a kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yes.
Which one do you want to kill? Do you want to kill the Spore Mound that's going to make 1/1s? Or do you think you can beat the Root Wall that's a 3/3 that's going to be a 5/5 for the following turns?
Well, Hwang has he has 3 Death Gaze Cockatrices to trade with that 5/5. So that's a reason. There's one in his hand right now, it looks like. He's probably stuck off double black. Can't really get there. Let's see. Blocking Root Walla. Hwang going to take a significant amount of damage, but gain a little bit back off the lifelink.
So he's going to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then gain 2 left. So he's going to take 5 total. Quick update for you guys. Todd Anderson does win his match 2-0 over Vinny Prabhu. Todd's deck looked quite good, so I'm not terribly surprised by that. Vinny's deck didn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination, but Todd's deck looked fantastic. And then Joel Larsson is in game number 3 against Nick Henning, as we bring the action back here to Dean Hwang and Brad Nelson. Dean tapping his mana right now. See where he's going to be moving to this turn.
Let's see. He's got a lot of cards, got a lot of options. They probably all cost black to play. Claustrophobia, locking down. Brad points to the 1/4.
Yeah.
I believe we have a wild Tim Ayton sighting.
Wow.
Decided to show his face after his most recent article.
That is surprising. I don't even know what to say right now.
So Claustrophobia takes down the Spore Mound, and Gnawing Zombie comes down to block the rest of the crew. Gnawing Zombie promptly Chandra's Outrage. Dean dropping to 3 from all that damage. And Brad has another creature, Mana West Sliver.
Yeah, just the Mana West Sliver, which isn't really a big deal, but it's good enough.
No damnation here, no devastation tied to save him.
You know, there's like kind of like a significant lack of like match removal effects in this format.
There's Planner Cleansing.
You know, sometimes in the base set you see a card like Pyroclasm or you know, something of that nature.
Nope.
And you actually don't see that in this format. You have, like as you said, Planner Cleansing or Bust.
Shrivel. You got Shrivel.
Oh, there's Shrivel too. I guess Shrivel would actually be like a 3-for-1 right now.
Not even. It's like a 1-for-1 and we get some of your Spore Mound value away. Except the Spore Mound's hanging out claustrophobic.
Sure.
Maybe... Yeah, that's not the best place for a Spore Mound to be. That should be in the graveyard.
So
that's a lot of mana.
6 mana. Alright.
Spin the wheel. If he hits a removal spell, he's not dead.
So it's Jace's Mindseeker. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What do we hit?
We're going to want the red one.
At the worst, this is going to give him information.
What's that red card?
Shivan Dragon.
No, is that the Scourge or?
The red card for Brad, that's a Shivan Dragon.
Okay. Ah, there we go.
Yep. So he reveals those cards, and he's going to concede the game knowing that he is dying on the swing back because he did not reveal a removal spell. So Brad Nelson's going to win game number 2 over Dean Hwang. We are going to be moving on to a third and final game between these two guys. Again, the team of Nelson, Larsson, and Anderson are currently ahead. As Anderson has won his match, but we have 2 game 3s here to see who's going to end up winning this match.
Both these teams sitting at 3-1. You know, this is tournament life on the line.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to top 4 and or win this tournament, they're going to have to win from here on out.
Maybe a draw. Maybe.
Maybe. That's a big maybe, my friend. So we're going to cut over to the Joel Larsson, Nick Henning match as these players are playing. You see on Larsson's side he has an Angelic Wall and a couple of lands, Wall of Swords and Divination in the graveyard. For Henning, he's got a Goblin Shortcutter, a Young Pyromancer, a Dragon Hatchling, a Brad Nelson token representing an Elemental, and of course a couple of lands.
Someone else is the red token. That should be in play.
I'm a Goblin. I don't feel like I'm adequate. Young Pyromancer is better than like every Goblin ever made.
So Dragon Hatchling's in play. I actually kind of like that card in this format.
Kind of like it too. I like a flyer who can kind of scale up and beat some of those 4 toughness creatures like the City of Vampires and Sarah Angels of the world.
There we see it getting claustrophobia.
Yeah, Larsson agrees with you that is a real card. He's got a claustrophobia there, pacifism on the Goblin Shortcutter and pass the turn back.
This is a Shiv's Embrace.
That
was
a Shiv's
right
Embrace.
In time after all that removal disappeared.
Yeah, isn't it ironic? Shiv's Embrace going to come down on that Elemental token. Going to turn sideways, bash here with both guys. Larsson's going to put in front of the Young Pyromancer a pump on the Embrace. Going to deal 4 to Larsson, put him down to 6 as Joel's going to draw a card for the turn.
Looks like another claustrophobia.
Yeah, I think he does have another one in his hand. He does, and he's going to pass the turn back, leaving some mana up, excuse me. Not sure if he's representing anything. As Henning draws another land.
Looks like Joel's stabilized. Ooh, Planner Cleansing.
There's a Rod of Ruin. Shoot down the Young Pyromancer. All right, so
pew pew.
He is trying to stabilize. The draw step for the turn for Henning is a Awaken the Ancients.
Uh-oh.
He just has to pass the turn back, so Larsson's going to draw his card for the turn. And Awaken the Ancients can be a problem here for Larsson. He's going to play a Banisher Priest, making it much less of a problem. That might be the best Banisher Priest I've ever seen.
How many have you seen?
Like 3.
Okay.
And both times they died. And the creature came back and then killed the opponent. So yes, that's the best Banisher Priest I've ever seen. As here's a Pitchburn Devils for Henning and passing the turn back.
Joel Larsson, the blue-white mono removal deck.
It looks like he's got a lot of it.
2 Celestial Flare, Banisher Priest. His ones look like 4s, but I thought he was playing 4 Congregate for a second. I got excited.
That would be a lot of those.
He is playing Congregate in his pacifism claustrophobia deck.
I actually like Congregate quite a bit in this format.
Yeah.
It gains you a lot of life.
That card has a storied history of gaining many, many amounts of life.
You see a Rod of Ruin activation there on Henning's end step. Larsson's going to draw a card. He's going to find an island for the turn. Again, he does have Planar Cleansing in his hand. He's just trying to figure out when is the best time to use that. Again, a very important game 3 here for him and Nelson.
If he takes this, he takes the match.
Yep.
For all 3 of them. Master just Diversions here is pretty nice, especially because the Angelic Wall would otherwise hold down the Pitchburn Devils. Joel doesn't have a lot of good blocks in the other way. Like, I think he has to fire. Ooh, he's not firing off the cleansing here.
Lava Axe is the draw. Oh boy.
Looks like he has a Celestial Flare in hand.
That was a huge draw step there for Henning.
Tapping the Banisher
Priest. Tap the Banisher Priest.
So that he can't trade for the Master.
Okay.
Celestial Flare. Pitchburn Devils to the face.
Yep. Easy sacrifice there, I think.
Absolutely.
I agree with you where Celestial. It's gonna. Wow. He's gonna deal the damage to the wall.
Really?
Wow.
Joel still taking it.
Larsson gonna take it and then get Lava Axed out. And he is. He will concede the game.
That was a gutsy 3.
So Nick Henning is gonna even this matchup for his team. Defeats Joel Larsson. So now it's 1-1 and it's on the Hwang Nelson match for it all. Whew.
Yeah, that was a could have Planar Cleansing and died to the axe. Just head to Lava Axe, no matter what you do.
Yeah, Lava Axe. 5 damage is a lot.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. 5 damage is a lot of damage. So Nick Henning is going to tie it up for his team, and now we're going to move over to Dean Hwang and Brad and Nelson. We see both players taking a look at their opening hands. Dean going to play an island and pass the turn back. Nelson with a forest. So we are underway in game number 3 here for the match.
Is that a Chandra in Brad's hand? That is.
That is a Chandra Pyromaster.
That is going to be a turn 3
This could be a turn
Chandra.
3 Chandra. Jeez.
That Child Knight does not look very good against that Chandra.
It does not look very good at all, my friend. Child Knight's going to start by attacking. Nelson down to 18, Hwang up to 22.
You don't really want to trade this mana ramp guy for it. It's just going to die very soon.
You see Dean looking at a Claustrophobia right now, maybe considering tapping his Mana Watch Sliver?
Well, Brad just demonstrated that he didn't want to trade it for Child of Night, so I don't know. Maybe he has the fear.
And so you saw Dean play a Swamp there and then pick it up and replay and play an Island. So if his plan was the Claustrophobia, he cannot now.
Oh no. And the Pyromaster hits the table.
So now it is going to be Chandra Pyromaster. Take care of that Child of Night.
Brad reading what the card does.
And don't forget 1 for Dean too, Brad.
That creature also cannot block this turn.
Thank you. That's important. Thank you.
Here to help.
And so now he passes the turn back.
There's a lot of text on this card.
There is a lot of text on this card. The +1, of course, deal 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to up to 1 to target creature. So if there is no creature, you can still shoot. There is a Water Servant from Hwang going to pass the turn back. And then the second ability, which is the one that draws the most attention, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. If it's a land, you haven't played a land yet, you can put it into play. If it's a spell, you can play it, assuming you have the mana.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says the spell is free to play, but you can just cast it. So it's a red card advantage engine, something that you don't see very often.
Let's see. Chandra up to 6. Chandra not up to 6. Brad really thinking this one through. Man, that Claustrophobia would have been huge.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely changed the dynamic of the game. Absolutely.
This Chandra would have been dead in a hit to the Water Servant.
It changes a lot about how this game progresses.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for Dean that he just made that subtle misstep. And you see Nelson here talking with Larsson and Anderson about what they want to do on this turn. They're going to deal 1 to Water Servant, 1 over to Dean. They're going to play a Forest, 5 mana. And that is the big guy.
Woodborn Behemoth. It is a 3 green 4/4. And if you have 8 or more lands,
Bigger.
he gets angry.
Bigger.
8/8 trample when you have 8 or more lands in play.
So here's a swamp here for Hwang. Swamp being important because he can't kill Chandra if he was to attack it. If he was to attack towards it, he could pump it twice.
Right. So they're debating between Liturgy of Blood or Claustrophobia on this guy. Depends what his follow-up play is. You know, this 4/4 is not long for this battlefield.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think they're probably going to Claustrophobia here, so that next turn if they draw another land, they can Liturgy into the Train Condor that we saw in their hand.
Okay.
So Chandra down to 3.
Yep.
Dean at 18 life right now. Chandra, her stability does 3 things. It's a lot of things.
The tough part about Chandra too is a planeswalker that I don't think you can ignore. There are some planeswalkers that you can just decide to ignore for whatever reason. I think Chandra is so powerful that you can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely not. The ultimate's not insane, but +1 card a turn, really, really good. Faltering, you know, it really affects the board.
So you see Brad use a 0 ability, and then he is going to cast Hunt the Weak, make his Baloth bigger, and kill the Water Serpent, come across for 1. The Chandra ability revealing Nelson a forest, so a free land gets put into play. Now Dean is going to draw a card. He plays a Swamp.
Train Condor, not so great against this Pyromaster.
No, it's really, really not. So now Nelson's going to be able to activate the 0 again. And so now he's going to be able to play. Basically, he's getting a free card every turn. Now he's basically just drawing 2 cards every turn.
Red Phyrexian Arena.
Yeah. And this is very, very difficult to beat, especially, you know, in some formats it's not like a big deal, but in Core Set Limited where the cards are so fair,
yeah,
that when you have a card like this giving you 2 cards a turn, it's so very, very difficult to come back from.
Sea Skite flashes out of nowhere.
And the card that was revealed was Ranger's Guile, which is decidedly mediocre. You see Brad gonna cast Windstorm.
Yeah. Looks like a dead bird. Ranger's Guile gets cast for 1 damage.
Might as well.
Sure, why not?
Nelson going to, looks like he's going to play a land. He is. And
Yep.
pass the turn back.
We're,
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Everything looks clear. Brad just explained some things to the judge, make sure there's no discrepancies.
Right. So what do you think of the ultimate on Chandra and Limited? How often do you think you'll ever fire that off?
I can't imagine that it would, like, I'm looking, I think it's going to happen so rarely that I'm going to look forward to the stories of hearing about it.
Yeah.
Because every time that you could fire off the ultimate, I would just want to use the 0 ability.
Yeah.
And just
Like,
get another card.
I can imagine like firing, it is exile 10 cards, like you could just deck yourself.
Yes. That's a very, very real concern. Looks like Nelson turned over another Mana West Sliver.
Yep. Nelson shoves in for 1. Dean not really having a lot of action in the face of this Planeswalker.
Yeah. I mean, as you mentioned, shutting off the Train Condor in Hwang's hand. But, you know, we don't know what other cards are shutting off, but Brad is really in the driver's seat here, and Dean's not able to mount an offense to stop it. And these green creatures can do a really, really nice job of protecting the Chandra. As you see, Nelson's going to play a Rumbling Baloth and pass the turn back.
Just opting not to play the Sliver.
Yeah.
Representing a card in hand.
Yep.
I think I saw Naturalize would be the card he's looking at.
So here's 4 mana.
Liturgy.
Or 5 mana, that Liturgy of Blood. So he's gonna be given 3 green mana, or 3 black mana, excuse me, and just pass the turn back.
Not Deconstruct.
No, not Deconstruct. Here's a Naturalize. Oof.
Takes out the Claustrophobia.
Yeah.
This 5/5 gets to untap. We are quickly approaching. Okay, Doomblade takes down the 5/5. Dean must have drawn that sometime between when the Prey on the Weak was cast and now. Couldn't get the guy out of the way for the fight. Sure, just play some cards. Over to the Beast enters the battlefield. Mana West Sliver in for 1. Chandra Pyromaster drawing 1,000,000 cards.
Yeah, I'm going unanswered.
From our producer, Chandra.
Chandra is good.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm also being informed on Twitter, Ari, from Stoll's MTG, that he had a Chandra at his pre-release, and the ultimate alongside Lava Axe, your favorite card in the set.
Ooh,
Fairly good.
I can accept
Fairly
that.
good. If you'd like to ask them a question multiple times, you can.
I really want to hear a story about someone Chandra ultimating and like missing, and like the other person like barely living. They're just untapping and jacing them for 10 and winning the game because of it. These are the stories I want to hear.
That's what you want. Yeah, you want the ridiculous stories.
Yeah. Love Axe is pretty nice.
It's not bad. You see Nelson coming across here with Advocate of the Beast and a Mana West Sliver. Gonna knock Dean down to 12. See if he has a follow-up. All right, so he's gonna start here.
More cards.
Okay, just a Shivan Dragon. That's a follow-up.
Oh wait, that's it?
4, 6, Dragon. So he will pass.
Dean drawing. Whew. Looks like Brett is enlarged to hit off this Chandra ultimate if it goes that way.
All right.
I don't think this Chandra's adding counters, but
No, I don't think it's ever adding counters.
this Chandra kind of feels weird because like it doesn't seem like it ever goes. Like there's no minus ability on the Chandra really.
Yeah, it's either going up or staying the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because you normally are used to seeing a minus ability.
It's kind of like Elspeth.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, the demon takes down the Shivan Dragon.
Nelson draws a card for the turn. It's a Deadly Recluse.
Buys us a turn against these attackers. I think it's doing some work. Flip.
Reveal a
Flip.
card. Another
Recluse.
Deadly Recluse. That's going to come straight into play. Another Deadly Recluse from Nelson. He's going to pass the turn back, not let the demon get any value.
Demon down.
Yep.
This demon's not really doing near as much as I thought it could.
Yeah, you know, I was actually going to say the same thing, but you beat me to it. The demon, obviously, it's a very powerful card,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of things that need to go right to make that card completely insane.
Yeah, it's still a 5 mana removal spell. I'm not going to complain about playing a Brain Spoil, but
You know, 3, 4, and 5. So Nelson is going to be hit here
by a Chandra's Outrage.
by Chandra's Outrage, and that can actually put the Chandra down to 1.
Ooh.
He can
Okay.
redirect the damage over there, deal 4 to like a Deadly Recluse, and then deal 2 to Chandra.
I think we have to. I don't know about the Deadly Recluse versus the Advocate. I'd probably target the Advocate because the Chandra ticking up is making this Chase Mindseeker not block. And we're getting low on life. I might have wanted to save a life on that attack.
That's true.
Though I guess 2 Deadly Recluses attacking later will fight through the Mindseeker faster. It's a better clock there.
See, Nelson just has 2 lands in his hand.
They're it's like they're debating whether they want to try and draw a card or whether they want to try and
That Forest, not a useful spell. Nelson can get him a Deadly Recluse if he wants to, but he's not going to. So maybe things are turning here
yeah.
for Hwang.
We've outlasted the Chandra. Our rares come into play. Tidebind the Deadly Recluse. Take
Attack
down the
here.
Chandra.
Chandra's dead.
Ooh.
Followed up with a Child of Night. And now all of a sudden, as Nelson draws a card for the turn,
I wonder if Nelson's also running out of cards in his deck.
yeah, I think his deck is low on cards. Advocate of the Beast being turned sideways now.
Dean debating if he wants to double block and let Nelson take back his threats. I don't know. I think 12 is a safe enough life total. Nelson just passing. Ooh.
Alright, so Hwang draws a card. He can actually play that Train Condor that's been in his hand for a while too. So how does he want to attack this turn? Again, Nelson just has a Mana West Sliver in play, nothing else.
I like shoving the low drops in. Both of them. Or just the Child of Night.
Don't like attacking with the 4/4?
I don't know if we have another big guy. I didn't see the hand very well, but I didn't think I saw one. But if we don't have another big guy, I want to block this Advocate of the Beast with a 4/4.
Well, there's a Train Condor, pass the turn back.
Yeah, I'd rather just block with the 4/4, I think.
Nelson plays a Mountain, passes the turn back.
Oh, shove.
Oh yeah, attack for 2. No attack for 2,
Yeah,
okay.
you didn't let me take back the land, you're
Yeah.
not getting that attack in.
Yeah.
So, looks like Condor's taking the Tidebinder Mage to the skies. Attack for 8.
Nelson down to 6.
Corpse Hauler.
Follow up as a Corpse Hauler, passes the turn back. Nelson draws a card.
It's a Windstorm.
He's already cast his Windstorm this game.
Oh, yeah.
He cast it to take care of the Sea Skite. Here comes Advocate of the Beast, blocked with a Corpse Hauler. Looks like we're going to get an activation here.
Demon.
Get back to Shadowborn Demon. Yep. Get back Shadowborn Demon.
The corner has been turned.
You see Nelson has a lot of lands in his hand. He has a Spore Mound. He's gonna play a token. He's gonna play a land, make a token, pass the turn. Hwang draws a card. We know he has a Shadowborn Demon in his hand. What else does he have? Condor can bring that Tidebinder Mage to the sky yet again. You see Hwang talking things over with Henning and Prabhu about what to do on this turn. And that is going to be it. So, Dean Hwang wins this match 2-1 and wins the match for his team over Brad Nelson, Joel Larsson, and Todd Anderson.
We're now likely eliminated from the event at 3-2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a comeback win in a game where I did not think Hwang had any chance to win due to that turn 3 Chandra Pyromaster and Chandra never going up, which I agree with. I don't think it had any reason to ever go up. Just